Hello, I am Tammy Marshall, and today I would like to tell you a little bit about my newest novel. This is a suspense novel called Trouble on Tybee, and I just recently released it. I wanted to kind of show you the pretty cover. It goes around to the back. Nice photograph that was taken on Tybee Island in Georgia by an area photographer. And I bought it from him. And I'll just read the back of it for you, and then I'll read you the prologue, and then maybe tell you a little bit more about the book. So here's what I put on the back. When a best-selling crime novelist suddenly dies, her daughter, Stacy Riggins, goes to her mother's home on Tybee Island to settle her estate. While there, Stacy learns things about her mother's writings that point to unsettling truths about her own life. Ones she's chosen to ignore. A dark secret she's kept buried, and darker secrets that have been kept hidden from her. Soon, Stacy is caught up in problems that rival her mother's darkest stories. So this particular book I dedicated to my very dear friend, Sylvia. Sylvia was actually my first exchange student. I've had 7 of them over the years. And she was my first exchange student a long, long time ago. So she's only about 10 years younger than I am. And we've just stayed very, very close. She's really like my best friend. And she suffered a lot with some kidney problems. I have a character in here whose name is Sylvia, and kind of an important character. And I decided that I wanted to dedicate this book to my friend. So there's a nice kind of funny dedication I put at the beginning of the book that is to her. So this is, like I said, is my 5th book. This is the prologue to it. So I will share that with you. The second heart attack hit her at her desk. The early signs were the same as those she'd experienced with her first attack months ago. This one, though, was happening faster. Already, crushing pain was spreading from her chest into her arms. She needed to get help before it was too late, so she grabbed her desk phone, picked up the receiver, and punched 911 onto the keypad. Knowing that a non-response would bring an ambulance faster than wasting her precious and weakening breath trying to explain her emergency to the dispatcher, she laid the receiver on her desk and forced herself to her feet. Staggering and clutching at her chest, she bounced off the doorframe and into her short hallway. Using the wall to guide her, she managed to reach her kitchen area. The room swam before her, and the band across her chest was a vice. She felt certain she wasn't going to survive this one, so she made a desperate lunge for her kitchen table, her hand scrabbling across its cluttered surface until she found what she was looking for. Gasping uselessly, like the countless fish she'd seen pulled out of the ocean here on her beloved island, she pushed away from the table and swayed toward the opposite wall. Once there, her hands found the naked nail, and she managed to hang something on it before sliding to the floor. She attempted to crawl toward the door to unlock it for the paramedics, but it seemed so far away, even though it was only a few feet. She decided not to waste any more energy on movement and instead focused on trying to breathe. But the band tightened further, and she drew herself into a ball. She had time for one final chastisement at her decision not to take the heart medication she'd been prescribed, but it had made her so dizzy that she couldn't write, and she would rather die than not be able to write. If she'd had the breath to do it, she would have laughed at the morbid irony of her current situation. Before she lost consciousness, her blurred gaze fell upon the item she'd hung on the wall. She hoped it would be enough to save the one person she still had in her life who was worth saving. The one person she'd spent these past few months setting up protection for in the event of her own death. She could only hope that what she'd done was enough, and that the person she loved would understand. She rolled tightly into fetal position, moaned weakly, and shut her eyes. In the darkness, she thought she heard the wail of an approaching ambulance, but then she thought no more. So that was the prologue, and that prologue was actually titled The Writer. The rest of my chapters all have the something. They're all 2 words. And the rest of the book is actually written in first person. So it's from her daughter Stacy's perspective as Stacy then slowly comes to learn different things and realize some truths, kind of some ugly truths, and what she's going to do about them. It was my first attempt actually writing a full novel in first person, and I actually enjoyed it. But I'm hoping that the readers do too. That's what will count. So I really hope that you will pick up a copy of Trouble on Tybee. They are available in paperback form like this, or as ebooks through Amazon. And if you happen to have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, you can read it on that too. So thank you. And you know, if you like this book or you like any of my other books, I really hope you'll read them all someday. Right now there are 5. Someday there will be more. Thank you.